My loneliness songs. Okay. I wanna feel the heat. My lonely falls. Oh my God. Burn, burn, burn. I love you. Never too much, never too much. Burn, burn, burn. broken-hearted. Mending. You are standing. A soul for another dollar. And holla. Ooh. Never too much, never too much, never too much. Cause to forget, yeah. It's ringing out. There's no way this band could lose. Yeah. What? Hey, rise up, rise up. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Why do I have an echo? This is the morning show. I am doing my thing. This is Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to get it cracking. Let me say this. How you feeling this morning, Todd?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling? Why do we? Yeah, we got a straight up echo. All right, so let's get it cracking. Todd, how were you this weekend?
We had a good weekend. I took your suggestion and I went and got a cake from that bakery, and surprisingly, they had exactly what I wanted. I mean, that was their specialty, so it worked out perfect.
You went to Roser's Bakery?
Got a strawberry shortcake, which was what Janine and Claire were talking about, so I got one of those, and it was great.
It was great. Okay, well, what is going on? I feel like I'm hearing double, triple. Yeah, I'm in here, so maybe you need to. I don't know what's going on in our headphones, but it definitely sounds double, triple E, triple O. Is there something going on? All right, look. Let me do this. Let me say.
That's your demigod voice.
Is that my Maze Jackson? All right, let's do this. Let's say what's up to the rest of the morning show team. What's up, Sonia Escobar? How you feeling? Okay, your mic sounds perfect. Ours sound. You hear that, Todd?
I hear that.
Yeah, it's an echo. All right, so let's do this. Let's say, okay, so we got everybody in. We're locked and loaded. Let's get this thing up to 60,000 feet. Let's get it up and away. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Todd Stroger. Got my co-host. No. Oh, my God. I am completely baffled by this, and you know what? I got to do better. All right, let's go into the news. First of all, Todd, it is the return to Catholic school today. Did you see that?
No. I mean, Claire goes on Friday, but
she went on Friday, or she started?
No, she's starting Friday, but that doesn't mean that the freshmen and the sophomores haven't started early, even though they changed the rules, and I'm not quite sure what's going on now.
You know what? Well,
they changed the days, I should say.
They changed the days on the school?
Yeah, so, Claire will be going with juniors and seniors. Freshmen and sophomores will be in the school at the same time, so they may have started today.
Okay, so yeah, maybe that's what it is, because my son starts today.
Yeah.
His first day back, he was not very happy. Had to shear him yesterday.
Had to what?
Shear him, like a sheep. Had to cut. Had to cut some of that hair yesterday.
Right.
Couldn't go back to school. He was like, no. So I'm gonna tell you, everybody's back in school. Did you see Big Jim Thompson died yesterday?
Yeah.
Not yesterday, on Friday, was it? Or Saturday morning?
See, I was talking to Claire, so it must have been, let's see, it wasn't, yeah, so it must have been Saturday.
You think it was Saturday? Well, regardless, he passed away. He was the longest serving governor in Illinois history. What do you think? Tell me about Big Jim Thompson. He still stands out in my mind as a kid as like the governor. Like he quite honestly, he is still the model in which I base the governors off of. He would be talking to the mic.
He would be. I can't help but always look at you, Mace.
So why don't you put the mic over there?
I used to do that. Then I realized that
no.
I was not giving my audience the full Todd Stroger experience. But Jim Thompson, I think of him like Rod Blagojevich, but just the opposite. Always good, a lot of personality, but always ready to make a deal with you. He was going to deal with everybody to get what he wanted.
Okay, yeah, he saved the White Sox apparently. Now we got that deal. All right, look, let me do this.
He would come to the floor. That was the
I saw
difference
that
between him and other governors.
Okay. All right, well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Let's go to, let me let you know that the weather is 71, mostly cloudy. The high today is 79, low 67. Look, this is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be right back. That's my mic. Todd, were you hearing that reverb?
Was that what?
Were you hearing that reverb?
Yes.
These headphones aren't plugged in. Huh? Todd.
Yes.
She's trying to talk to me.
Oh, what? I heard you say, Todd. What'd you say? Oh yeah.
Hello. Can you turn mine up?
Yeah, mine are great.
Hello. I can't hear anything. I can't hear it. Hello. Todd, talk in your headphones because I hear nothing.
Talking about the microphone? Talking the microphone?
I hear absolutely nothing.
Talk in the mic.
Now, that sounds fine. But this is fine. I just don't know what's going on with what I'm hearing. And it is a huge distraction, which I, Maze Jackson, have to get over. Yo. All right, Chicago, you are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, and yes, I'm still echoing, but I'm gonna rock through it. Can you hear like that on the air? I don't know, but all right, check it out, Todd. Big Jim Thompson died. You said he was like Rod Blagojevich. I think of Jim Thompson still as kind of like the governor. Like, I feel like he is the model of governor for me as a kid that I can't necessarily shake.
I get that.
I just feel like he was, how do you explain it? I don't know. I just feel like he was what would I say? I would say, Todd, he was he was like, I feel like he was burned into my memory. Like, I think a lot of people will think of Jesse White as the model of a Secretary of State. And I think he was burned in my mind and mentality as a young guy. So I don't know. I guess that's just
me
crazy?
too. I mean, he was the governor. I mean, he went in 4 terms with something right there.
Right. I mean, 4 terms. Like, that was historical. 4 longest serving governor in history. Just think of him and then think of Madigan. And Madigan was still here. How many governors has it been? All right, 47th Street Black. We're gonna talk about 47th Street and what happened. Did you see that the Dan Ryan protest got shut down?
Yes.
They tried to give the police the credit. I want to give the black men the credit, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Also, Mike Madigan leads the Democrats in the DNC today. Did you see that? That's got to be kind of awkward. Well, no, maybe not, because he's in a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, it is Zoom, but it's still awkward because people will ask you about it. You know.
Well, I wonder what Kamala and what's Kamala gonna say? Like, you know, is she gonna say as a prosecutor?
That's Illinois politics.
Yeah, but I think if an Illinois politician was to, I mean, if they were to get questioned, somebody would say, "Hey, I would not want to have that question about corruption." And the Democratic Party going into this thing. I mean,
the only answer they can really literally give is the U.S. Attorney is going to do his job, and we'll let it take its course.
Okay, all right, let's go. How can it be me? All right, let's go to. Did you see casinos made $82.6 billion?
Man, I could use some
million, not billion, $1 million.
I use some of that
since it opened up. All right, I just want to point out no black ownership once again. Mm-hmm. Once again, no black ownership.
What casinos we talking about? All through the
state? All throughout the state. Rivers, I mean, they're down just a little.
Is East St. Louis still there?
I don't know if East St. Louis is there. You know what? Them brothers. I think they sold us though.
Oh,
I think they sold that piece of it. All right. How about the CTA? Will it survive? And I'm also wondering, will the post office
We say that
survive?
every year, though.
Huh?
The CTA. We say about the CTA every year.
Yeah, but I think nobody, like, I see the buses and there's like one person on the bus.
I've heard a lot of people say that. I read that somewhere, too.
Okay.
I took the bus home once, and it was packed. It wasn't packed. I mean, all the seats were taken, though, in the end. I took the Cottage Grove bus home once. By the time I got to 87th Street, it was full of people.
87th Street was full of people. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll.
But it's a big city. That's just one bus.
That's just black folks. All right. I think they talking about the white folks. Hey, Todd, I went to the Cubs game this weekend.
I saw that.
I went to the Cubs game on Friday night.
Did they win?
No, they didn't. Not that.
Not
I mean, I really wasn't paying attention. It was more conversation. And let me just tell you this. White folks have had it with Lori Lightfoot. Like, I was they were like, she should just resign. I don't think there's anything she can do.
That sounds, yeah. It's amazing how people think that when something goes bad, that you should immediately just leave.
Everything goes bad, though. Everything has gone bad, and she's kind of like hiding. It's like, we're not going to tolerate that as the police gets hit over the head with a.
I did have a small conversation with 2 young people who I didn't know. When I say young, they probably might have been like 30 or something like that. And I basically said that she's in a tough position because she comes in as the new reformer out with the old. So she hires all these people who have no idea what they're doing, and all of a sudden the plagues start and they don't know what to do.
That's exactly the case. And it's like they don't want to admit that they don't know what they're doing.
Right. Nobody wants to admit they don't know what's happening.
Exactly. So they just say, you guys are crazy.
Right.
Right. And it's like, no, the city's burning.
Yeah, right.
The city
I don't care what you tell me. I smell smoke.
What is that? And you know what? I bet that meme, that smoke that we smell is not from a barbecue. You know, remember that meme she had that was like, why do I smell R&B? Why do I hear R&B and smell barbecue? Man. All right, y'all. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Also, White Sox. Did you see that? 4 home runs in a row. First time in history.
Really?
Yeah, man.
When you say history, you mean for any team?
I don't know if I think it might have been White Sox history.
Either way, I still
4 home runs in a row.
I remember the Southside Hitmen. Boy, they had some bats on that thing. I could see that happening then.
Man.
But this team was supposed to be able to put up a lot of runs.
Yeah, they got some offense. All right, man. It is the Mace Jackson Show. When we come back, we are going to ask the social media question of the day. So I've decided that I'm going to not continue to pursue the Kamala Harris is an Indian thing. I've come to the conclusion that she is mixed race. I think they tried to black girl magic us and got caught. Now that the cat is out of the bag, they are fully embracing it. So I'm not going to be on that. But what I did notice was there does seem to be, with this whole questioning, some anti-brother rhetoric going on. And did you see Laura Washington today? She said, "Us sisters got this.
Oh, no,
we know how this is." So when we come back, I want to ask the social media question of the day: can sisters save Black America alone, without the brothers? Give us a call. 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. We'll be back after mix. Let me let you know that the weather is it's the 10th time in history, second time for the White Sox. That's our resident White Sox expert, John Double J Joyner. He threw off my weather in time though. So it is 6:32. It's 70 degrees, mostly cloudy. High is 79 with 67 as the low. We'll be back. So it's got to be something with my mic. Because, yeah, it's my mic because that sounds good. When I'm talking, I hear a reverb. So is there something in here that it could it be the return? Todd, you still hear a reverb, don't you?
Yeah, when we're on.
Do you hear it in your own headphones too?
Actually, I stopped hearing you in my headphones.
Huh?
I stopped hearing you. I mean, I can hear the music playing. I haven't heard you in my phones, but I can hear the reverb. I don't know why.
Todd says he can't hear me in his headphones when I'm talking. He can hear the reverb. How can you hear the reverb if you can't hear me?
I don't know.
You hear yourself reverbing?
I thought it was more like an echo in the room or something.
It's not an echo in the room. It's not. It's like.
Oh, I hear the music.
Right, we hear the music. No. Huh? Yeah, that mic is always on the touch to the iPad. No, it's not the headphones. It's like it's either something in the mic that's reverberating. Okay. Close that door, Todd. What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Mace Jackson. I'm your host. Mace Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd. Time for the... So, let me do this. Let me stop. Let me do this because I am a little bit off my square today. Give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. We are going to have the social media question of the day. This is the Mace Jackson Show. What's in it for the Black People Radio? Also, you can get us on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. Let me go to the social media question of the day. Todd, can sisters save Black America without the brothers? I'm gonna tell you what motivated this. I turned on. Wait a minute, let me back up. I opened up the newspaper and I saw a story by Laura Washington. And the story by Laura Washington said that us sisters got this. And I, Todd, felt like this. I felt like the way the tone of the story was, it felt like we gonna win this race and we don't need you. Like Kamala Harris is built for this, which I don't debate. Right?
Oh,
I'm gonna say she's
definitely a politician.
Right. She's definitely a politician. We can't forget that. But Todd, I feel like the tone of this whole thing is as the party continues to go on that they don't need us as black men. And I don't mean that to be petty. I don't mean that to be anything except to say that there really appears to be this we don't need black men deal. It seemed like Laura Washington was saying that they have a go it alone strategy. But I want to be clear that the math just doesn't add up. I've been saying this since day one. That the Democratic Party says that we wouldn't be here without black women. As if, because black women vote for Democrats at 96%. As if black men don't vote for Democrats at like 92%.
Oh, yeah. There is no victory without black men. I mean, it's just simple math.
It doesn't seem to be as simple as we think, though. Right? Because when I watch how the party operates, I just feel like, and now I'm starting to see, like, even with this Kamala Harris thing, and I'm a really get off of the whole Indian thing, but I really do think that there's this whole concept that we're supposed to just shut up and take it and just show up and vote. And I really believe, Todd, that the Democratic Party is not acknowledging a real fact. And I also think that black men are getting real quiet. Like, I think that as we watch every single day, I feel like you're getting there. I feel like as we watch every single day, black men are getting more quiet and more quiet and more quiet. And I think that the Democrats lack a strategy to reach black men. And even as they tout the historic nature of this nomination, I am not sure that this is a winning strategy. Let's take all of I don't know if there's a way to deal with the fact that there is no black men strategy for the Democratic Party. Do you see one?
No, but I don't really know if they've ever really had a black men strategy. I think we're just supposed to come on board, and no matter, once the train starts, like, all right, run and jump on.
And I think that is essentially where they didn't learn their lesson last time. If that makes sense. I feel like they did not learn that you gotta talk to black men. Let me back up. I'm gonna say you gotta talk to black people, and I think that they have figured out a way to talk to black women. Say, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. I learned that with my wife. Just tell her they're the greatest. You're the best. Shut your mouth and keep rolling. No drama, no problems. I don't want no problems. But I do think, Todd, and I'm just being silly. Sort of. I want to know, how does this thing turn out, Todd? Give me your thoughts. Can black women win this thing and go it alone? And then the other thing I wanted to point out, and this is where I think we saw the Democratic Party kind of. Did you see the Chicago Tonight last week? I don't know if I asked you about this, where they compared the salaries of black women to white men. And I was like, essentially, screw black men.
Yeah, right.
Like, shouldn't the comparison, if you want an accurate measure of success, wouldn't you compare women to women and black men to black men? I almost feel like they've cut us out.
Well, it's a strange thing, because we know that women make less than men, no matter what category they're in. But yeah, as they say, we were conspicuous by our absence.
I feel like that is a continuing thing, if that makes sense. That
sure, it's continuing.
The black male is.
Remember the movies? The movies in the old days. You have a black lady who might be the strong character and strong, and even in the white family, she'd be doing things. But the black man, he may come by, and she may give him a kick in the butt and say, "Go do this," and that was it.
Well, you know what? Give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Can sisters save black America without the brothers? I think that there needs to be a concern. We need a conversation. Like, honestly. Because I feel like the Democratic Party has figured out a way to actually divide black people with the vote. Remember, it used to be the black vote?
Right.
Now it's the black woman vote. Now, I got to understand, I got to question that. I got to question the strategy of, if you know that black people are going to turn out to vote, why is the overemphasis on women? And I'm not against black women, but you know, I tell you all the time, if you want to take out a black man, you know what Democrats do? Go find a black woman. Seriously, if they want to end a black man's political career, they go find a black woman. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Let's go to the live line. Let's go to caller. Frank, what's up, man? It's me. Frank, what's up, bro? Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Frank.
And Sister Sonia Escobar, how y'all doing?
We're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. My answer to the social media question is yes, with stipulations. If they have been put in political power position to save Black America and have the will to do so, yes. But without our vote, they cannot get them. But I said also with stipulations, just like with the Black families, they were put into power by displacing the black male. The black man in the family, i.e. the biological father of the kid, was just false narrative. But then they dropped the will to continue to believe in the traditional black family. Unlike our Muslim sisters, our Catholic Christian sisters, and our Jehovah's Witness sisters, the over abuse of this child custody scale has given us a Frankenstein monster. So our families got destroyed and our community got destroyed. If the same thing happened in politics, as we vote for them and vote for the Democratic Party and they take over and they drop the wheel, then we are in trouble big time.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Frank. I don't know, man. I don't see how this works. I don't see how. I feel like there's a division. Like, I think if you look at the Democratic Party, what role do men even play in the black men play in the Democratic Party?
Now that's a good question.
Like, seriously. Like, what role do black men play in the Democratic? Think about just, I'll just take Illinois. Right? I mean, you think about the black man politician in Illinois that speaks out has got a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Like you, and there is always someone aspirational ready to take that opportunity. And the ascent, there's not an opportunity really for advancement for a black. Well, I'll take that back. Kwame Raoul.
Yeah,
he was able to move up. Kwame was able to move though because they didn't single him out with the black, like they didn't put a black woman in the race. Now, if they wanted to go after him, that's what they would do.
But you know what I always say is you have to be from certain areas to get support if you're a black male. So Kwame's from that Hyde Park area. So they're like, hey, you can be one of us.
Okay.
Or if he come from Rogers Park, they probably would say the same thing.
But if he came from out west.
All right,
let's go to the live line. We got calls. Let's go to Ryan. Ryan, you're on the Maze Jackson show.
Good morning, Brother Maze and Brother Todd and Sister Sonia.
What up, Ryan?
Hey, man, look here. We got black women in power here in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. Name some of the things that they helping a black man with.
Hey man, Kim Foxx let out more black men out of jail than she has turned and reversed this. I think you got to give Kim Foxx hers. She did something for black men.
Well, I mean, you know, if you say
no, man, you got to give Kim her props.
I differ with that, but at the end of the day, you right. They're targeting a black woman like they did down, was that in Kentucky? Remember in Kentucky? Was that Kentucky or Alabama where that white boy took that Senate seat?
Right.
The Democratic seat, they thanked the black woman for doing it.
Right.
I wonder how much they got out of that down in, it was Alabama, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Right. And then he turned around and didn't even you right.
Then they didn't get nothing out of it. They know how to use the black woman against the black man. And the Democratic Party, they having a little thing today. Let me just say this here. I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris, none of that there. You know, her birth certificate, her mama put down she was a Caucasian. And when did she become black anyway? A lot of Jamaicans, I know Jamaicans used to be up there on 47 in Fortville, that tailor shop, they didn't consider themselves black. They have a difference with us. I work at my job. I got Africans that they look down on us, look different at us.
So,
but anyway, y'all have a nice day.
Thanks, Ryan. Hold on, Ryan. Ryan?
Yes.
All right, so Ty has a question.
So does that mean you're going to vote for Trump Pence?
Well, y'all quickly, you know, can I explain why I'm voting for Donald Trump?
So you are voting for
briefly?
Trump? Yeah, go ahead.
I am voting for Donald Trump because of the illegal immigration, and it's over 20 rap songs of Donald Trump. When did he become a racist? You see what I'm saying?
He was born a racist like all white people. I just say all white people are racist.
Well, I think that white liberals are worse than Donald Trump in this day and time, brother man.
I agree with you.
The white liberals, we complain in Chicago. We could all these inner cities where we complaining about it's policies of the white liberals. We don't put no emphasis on that there. There's the white liberals that been giving us hell for the last 50 years, and we still go lay down with them. And brother Todd should know better than anybody.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not a white liberal fan, but I know racist when I say it. You remember what Salim said about covert and overt?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't want the overt where they come and burn my house down.
Okay, I heard. You know what? That was
covert.
that was one of the best ones.
I understand, because I knew they were racist.
The covert is they just won't let you get the house, period. All right, let's go to the live line. We got another call. Let's go to Dion. Dion, you're on the Maze Jackson show.
What's up, babe?
What's up?
Todd? How you doing? Sonia.
Good morning.
You guys got to be out of your mind. How are you guys going to shut up on the radio and disrespect black women like that? What are black men doing? What are we doing? I mean, really, think about it. What exactly are we doing?
Well, I think we're going to talk about that. But I guess my question is right now, are black? So you suggest that black women are going it alone? Can do it alone?
No, I should.
No. Because I answered the question. Stop. Wait up, Dion. Hold on. Because I let you answer your question. I let you say what you wanted to say, but I'm asking the question. Because as I continue to read and as I continue to see, what I do see is that black men are now starting to stand up in a different way. And I would also beg to differ that we're not standing up. I think the people that you say aren't standing up are the ones that you aren't reading about their kids. There's 100 shootings every weekend. That means that there's 200,000 that are not being shot. I would suggest that they are in there. But are you suggesting that black women can go it alone, Dion? That's what the question is. That's the question.
That's not what I'm suggesting.
Okay, so that's the question.
That's not what I'm suggesting.
Okay.
Maze, how you going to frame it that tight?
That's the question. That's what you mean. No, how you going to answer it that broad? I asked the question. You can't
frame a question that tight like that. Maze. Really.
Come on, talk to me.
See, what black men are standing up? What are we doing? I mean, really.
Dion, I think I stand
what
up every
what
single
exactly
day.
are we doing to even help black women?
Wait, help black women. What is exactly is being in the realm of politics? We're electing them. In the realm, we're talking in the realm of politics right now. But in the realm of politics, I think that we support every black woman. That's why we out here having these debates right now about Kamala Harris. Do you think that every black woman got voted one by?
Help them, period.
What are you doing? Tell me, what do you do? What do you do?
I'm an electrical engineer.
So what do you do as an electrical engineer to help black women?
Anything that I can.
Well, give me an example.
26 years.
Uh-huh.
I go out, I'll campaign, I love my wife, I love all black women.
I love all black women
too. That are in the forefront, because as men we drop the ball in certain cases, then let them lead. How could you even ask a question like that?
I think you're trying to get points, bro. Look, check this out. No, you're trying to get points.
It's just real.
Check this out. When the black women that got elected, in a lot of cases, Sonia giving me the sign. I got 5 minutes. Let me back up. I feel like we don't necessarily pick the black women. White folks say, we want to win this race. Who can we find to fit this mold? Now, I'm not suggesting that every black woman that runs is not worthy or whatever. I'm asking, can they go it alone politically? And I don't think so.
And even if they did, it would be bad for the community itself. We can't have any more division.
Right, and I guess my question is, it's like,
I don't really argue with people like Brian Mills anymore.
Alright, so I guess the social media question of the day. Can sisters save black America without the brothers? And I think that we really got to restart reshaping this conversation. I really think we got to start pivoting away from allowing the white narrative of the black woman. Not to denigrate the black woman. I want to be clear.
But you mean that narrative of black women alone Saving the world.
Yes.
No black man nearby.
No black man was nowhere around. And I think Ryan does black men a disservice by calling up saying, what are we doing to not take I think that's a false narrative. Right? I feel like it's a collaborative effort is what I'm trying to get to. Right? I think that when I see Laura Washington write a story that says us sisters are going to, we're used to this and we're going along and it's like the black male bash camp thing. It's like what I was saying yesterday on Facebook. Y'all understand that y'all job is you need to win. And if you need to win, you got to start figuring out how you get the people who on board. Not talking about how everybody is whack because they don't believe what you say off bat. It's just like this.
Well, that's the truth of the matter. I mean, like my father was like, I'm like, man, you're practically a feminist. I mean, he had out of our 4 or the 3. No, I guess 4 because I include me. Aldermen, 2 of them were women. No, that would be 3 because one is somebody who I asked the mayor to appoint. So
how'd that work out?
If, one of them had
died, did that probably get you 3 years? I'm gonna stop.
But there's a lot of black men who have a history of advancing black women when the opportunity presents itself.
Look, check this out. I ain't going to lie. I have worked on more black women campaigns and helped them be successful than I have ever met. Right? Quite frankly, the only campaigns I've ever lost are men campaigns. Real talk.
I believe that.
No, it's serious. And I just think that when I opened up the paper and I saw the whole sisters, we got this. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Stop. It's math. And so what I would suggest for all the people, because this is just a broader conversation, they need to figure out how to engage black men. I would tell you that what I have heard in numerous...
What are politics? It's a game of...
addition and multiplication, not subtraction and division. So, I'm just going to tell you that my premise here, with all of the people that are... with all of the women that are like, well, forget y'all ain't standing on nothing. It's like you're going to need to figure out other ways to get people on board. Because black men... right now are the most persuadable to Trump. Now, you can call them stupid, you can call them... I feel like you're almost creating black deplorables. Right? Like they're starting to make... Like I feel like a lot of people aren't voting for Trump. They're voting to see somebody on Facebook so they can call them back and be like, you lost. And that's not helping your cause or your candidate. Hey y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, when we come back, we're going to talk about what really happened on 47th Street and why they did not shut down the damn Ryan. Black men, as Ryan apparently did not see, stood up. Shout out to Helen Thomas as well for providing video footage of what happened. But y'all, I think Black Lives Matter has met its moment. We're going to talk about it more when we come back.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago. The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for...
So it can't be something that I'm doing. You still hear the reverb, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be something...
I do hear you in my headphones. Huh? I was wrong. I do hear you in my headphones.
Do you have a reverb of yourself, too?
Oh, man, I don't pay attention to me. Okay. I'll pay attention next time.
Todd, talk to the people.
This is a man's world.
Hey, Sonia, is there like a thing?
Nah, man. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was suggesting that Black Lives Matter is burning itself out. It's actually it's suicide. They're killing themselves. It's nobody else's. But some people think that we're headed. That might actually be part of our discussion today. We're heading towards violent revolution, which might be, but I'd say we haven't gotten there yet. So there's a whole bunch of people who don't want to see their neighborhoods go up in flame and don't want to be in shootouts with police. So I think the Black Lives Movement has said some things that have turned off some people. I mean, they believe in the message Black Lives Matter, but they're not sure if the way that Black Lives Matter is going about whatever they're trying to accomplish is going to get them to the goal. That's what I think. And a whole bunch of people are like, man, this is crazy now.
I'm going to say bring up.
It's a man's world. But James Brown's right, it's a man's world. And we do have to make a conscious effort to be fair, I think, to women. Man, I see so many things in just modern culture that want to subjugate women. It is kind of incredible.
Because this all sounds perfect. Can I hear? I turn Ruthie's mic up. I can't hear it at all. You wouldn't hear it till it's on air anyway, right? Right?
Man, I miss...
I can't hear anything in this mic anyway.
I miss Governor Thompson. When I came in, it was Governor Edgar, who was like kind of the opposite of Governor Thompson. Where Governor Thompson was kind of your glad-hander, and talk to anybody, go on the floor, make deals with you. Governor Edgar was quiet.
Close that door, Todd.
Oops. Can't afford that.
Shun.
But you know you can fly.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd, man, I'm telling you, it is going crazy in here right now. All right, it's time for the, you know what, I'm going to take a couple more calls before I go on. We got calls on the live line. All right, caller, you are on the live line. What you got to say? Caller? That's you. Jay, what's up, man?
Hello, Jay.
That conversation. People want to try to talk about how, and it sounds like that's what he was doing, how black men, where are they? Why aren't they in their families and that type of thing? And, black women benefit off black men from the sperm on down. Sometimes you're a sucker and you get tricked into having a child with a woman, and then she used all the resources available to her to build her life, while you paying child support that she don't have to pay taxes on. They get seated, they get WIC, they get link, Section 8, all that business. And this might just be a chick that's really like you're not even serious about. And it destroys your life for at least 18 years. So you find somebody you want to be with, it causes problems in that relationship because you got money leaving your household to help her in her life. And then I've heard them, they say it's a fact that black women are more educated than any other group. Yeah, because with the Pell Grants and the link and the child support, they got Section 8 and all that. They got a whole lot of time to study and go to school.
Dang, Jay, you seem a little hostile, brother.
Yeah, I am a little hostile because I'm angry because I got caught up like that. Yeah, and I ain't the only one. Yeah, and I'm angry about it at 51 years old. And I can tell you, it's a lot of women, they'll get with a guy just because he got a few dollars or got potential. And if you ain't got your head on right, you thinking things, is just, maybe it's love, maybe it's just...
Maybe it's whack. Maybe it's whack. I don't know, man.
Maybe it's for the moment, maybe it's love, and you think it's love. And I want to be real personal in my own life. Hell, my mother got with my father with a bastard child, had several children with him, and then after most of us was grown, she decided she wanted to leave him. He wasn't having it, but I'm just telling you, you got women with that.
What you mean? Wait. What you mean he wasn't having it?
They feel like they can leave the brothers out there like that, and then when they come up, they feel like, oh, it's just me. I did this on my own. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You used the system. You use child support. You use CETA. You use WIC. You use Link. You use Section 8. You use all these. And then on top of that, you can have a child and you get, when you do your taxes, you can write your kid off and get extra money on that too. So they benefit in so many ways. And then they say, black man ain't did nothing for me. Yeah, he did. He gave you some sperm. And got you started.
Goodness gracious. Whew. Jay, are you suggesting that a child is a profit center?
Say it again?
Are you suggesting that women use children as a profit center?
Yeah, and I'm also saying that the government helps them do it. They help them do it, and hell, sometimes a black woman is your biggest enemy. She works than a white man. She working with him.
Goodness gracious.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Woo, Jay.
Hell yeah, I believe that.
Woo.
And then you help them out. You can help a woman with bastard children, help her out, and she said, well, that ain't nothing. You ain't do nothing for me. Okay, you gave me a place to stay. You bought diapers, milk, and all that. What's that?
Jay, what you...
It was something when you didn't have it.
Jay, I don't even know how to respond to this call, man.
Yeah, you don't have to respond to it. Just record. You got it on record. Listen to it later.
Jay, I'm gonna listen to it.
It's real talk.
I'm gonna play it back.
I'm gonna let y'all go, man.
Jay,
I got something to do right now.
Hey, Jay, well, I want to tell you.
Listening.
I just want to tell you thank you for calling, man. I appreciate you tuning in, man, and I appreciate you expressing your opinion.
I hope you take my call again.
Oh, we gonna always take a call. No, you keep calling, man. We taking all calls. We appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Hey, you got you a good educated woman that was raised with her parents, and that's another issue. When dudes stop dealing with women that were just raised by women, you'd be better off.
Now, okay.
Get with a woman that was raised with her father. That's the first mistake. Because when you get with a woman that was just raised with her mother, they think you owe them something. They look at you as a tool.
Goodness gracious. Jay, you are giving class this morning. You got anything else you want to say? Anything else? I'm going to let you go ahead. You got one more?
Well, you know what? Not at this moment. Not at this moment.
Okay. Jay, you come back. You're going to be
an opportunity to say more, though.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. We're going to give you more opportunity to talk, Jay, because I think it's more brothers out there that have a lot of things on their mind that they want to say. And I appreciate you calling us. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate y'all.
All day. Woo. Jay.
Well, it's interesting. You know how you make fun of me because I say I had my first girlfriend when I was 18 at University of Wisconsin. I was very careful about what I wanted to do in life. And you know what I didn't want? Before, I thought I'd be prepared, even though I realized later in life you're never prepared, is I didn't want a child at any moment where I'd have to go out and take care of him. Because if I had a child, I was going to take care of him. And I look at Facebook, and whenever a rich person gets divorced, there is so much hatred towards the wife because she asked for half of whatever their worth, the net worth is. Because it always turns out it's not their net worth, it's just his net worth, and she's trying to take it from him. But I think Jay is right about the government. The government has been trying to split up black families for, well, shoot, since slavery. So they
didn't try. They did during slavery.
I mean, all the way past slavery. Even with the laws, like he's saying, like WIC and stuff like that. And I was talking to a guy yesterday who used to live in the projects on 38th and off of the Drive. I forgot what they call those. But he was saying when he was there, he said
Lake Park.
Yeah, Lake Park. And he was saying when he's probably about 13 years older than me, so that would make him about 60.
Old as hell. 13 years older than you is old as hell.
So he's like 69.
Okay.
And he said the superintendent of the building lived on the property. There was a whole different vibe than what happened, later on, where they started changing all the rules and making it a warehouse for women without husbands. I made that part up, but that's basically what he was saying.
Oh, that's another whole nother topic. When we decide we want to get super messy, we're going to do that topic.
Super messy.
Like super messy. Like we're going to do, we're going to do a women. We're going to talk about that. But let me take one last call before on this topic before we go. Always willing to express his opinion regardless of how much you all want to hear it or not. And so I am going to, get this button to work. And we are going to talk to, come on, computer. All right, I'm trying to get you, man. All right, there it goes. All right, y'all, on the live line, one of our most regular callers, he calls just to piss you off. It is Jim from Elgin. Jim, you're on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hey, I appreciate the nice introduction, but I don't want to piss people off. I just want people to think. You were talking before, this guy was bringing up some good points about why not to vote for Biden. I have another topic. As you know,
now, Jim, this is my show. You don't have another topic. We're on one topic. The topic is, can black women go it alone? Now, I'm sure they're going to want to hear your opinion on it, so I'm going to let you speak on it, but go ahead.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of successful women that do things all the time, but, the reason I was calling because there's this bill called the Equality Act, which would basically put many black women at a disadvantage if they're in sports. Because what this Equality Act wants to do is allow transgendered people, biological men, to race against girls. And there's a lot of women, black women, for example, in sports, and these people are losing out to these biological males, and this is one of the things that Democrats are supporting. It's called the Equality Act. And it's anything but equal. And this is the typical garbage that Washington does to people. They put something in a nice sounding wrapper, but what's inside the package is something completely different.
Woo! That sounds like a transgender issue for real. I see how you did that, Jim. That was a pretty good joke. He was like, they put it in a different package, but what's inside the package is something completely different. I see how you did that.
Just like Obamacare, like the Affordable Care Act was anything but affordable. A lot of people lost their jobs after Obamacare got passed because of all these rules.
No, they lost their jobs
that's the problem with one thing.
So much of white America, Jim, decided that they didn't want to be part of Obamacare. There are certain things that...
Well, the problem is, who read the bill? Nobody read almost 3,000 pages worth of legislation.
You read it?
No, I didn't. It's garbage. But if you want to have somebody on talk about it, my friend Stephen Tucker.
Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, there's a fellow named Steve Tucker who has dissected this bill, and he understands it very well. You should have him on your show sometime. He'll give you a headache. Tell him about all the details. And
That's
stuff.
what I need.
But the
Just
Obamacare was very. I have 3 quick responses to the Obamacare thing.
Wait, this isn't Obamacare, Jim. Jim, we're not talking about Obamacare. Look, you're not taking my show over, man. Like, I like Jim. I like Jim because he just makes people mad. You know, I'm a contrarian. All right, I just want to point out something, and I need to do this. Sonia, maybe it's my headphones. I don't know. It just is. Okay. All right. Anyway, here's the deal. There were news reports all over the place suggesting that the Dan Ryan protest was shut down by the Chicago police. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Helen Thomas, as well as I think I saw Paul McKinley. I'm sorry, gentlemen from Blackbone. You know what, I'm going to get the names. But I want to just point out that I thought that what we saw this weekend was a continuation. Yeshua Hakeem Eitan as well. We saw brothers actually stand up. So you know there was a scheduled protest that they were going to take over the Dan Ryan, and it was like, I think they thought there was going to be thousands of people. They expected 3,000 people, and 30 showed up. Couple things I think happened. I think the first thing is the Inglewood resistance to Black Lives Matter sent the white folks to a space where they was like, I don't know if we want these problems. We come here to fight for Black lives, but we ain't necessarily, the Black lives over here ain't trying to fight, don't want us here. And I think that, remember, I was watching.
Well, I think also that young lady who got on as a spokesperson and said all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people like, oh, I guess this is over.
Well, you know what else I think? I think that what wound up happening was those white folks, like I was watching Helen's video, and she was interviewing people, and they were like, we don't know what, we're just here because the leaders told us to be here. Right? And so I think what we saw was maybe a bunch of those white folks who showed up at all these other places that just showed up in their car and their Subarus realized that they weren't wanted. Right? And so they decided not to show up. Now, who did show up were the Rev Con, the socialists, or whatever you call those people, the Communist Party and their allies. And when they got there and they saw that there were no people, well, let me not say there were no people, I think they were welcomed by a group of black men who were not going to accept the white folks coming and messing up our neighborhood, especially on the same day that the Black Mall had their Shop Black crawl. Right? So here comes some white guys with black guys who they pushed to the forefront to Bronzeville. Without, again, talking to the people from Bronzeville who had a black business crawl scheduled. So now y'all's gonna come disrupt the black business crawl to save black lives. Well, I'm here to tell you, the brothers shut it down. Shut it down! Shut it down! Them white folks, it was funny because they was like, the police stopped them from going on the dare. No, they came over there and the brothers was like, hell no. Okay, look, let me do this. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Then, hey y'all, at 7:30, we're going to talk to Alderman, 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez, who has been under full-on assault. We'll talk about it.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Wait, my phone was up here. Todd, hand me that phone right there with you. Thank you. Hey y'all. I've been seeing some of y'all texts about this morning startup. Hey, just so we're clear, as we continue to upgrade our technology, sometimes things don't work the same way. And even after testing this weekend, when I came in this morning, all of my Wi-Fi connections and settings were gone. So I would hope that you all would. Now, as soon as can I do this? Can we get y'all to start showing us some love on the wake up? We need some stars. Let's get these stars cracking. Let's get this thing going. I have been trying to get all my stuff going, and it's been a little tough this morning just because y'all know I'm solo dolo when it comes to this. And so what winds up happening is if things change up from where I was at, then it's hard to get going. And you don't know because I got a 12-minute window. All right, y'all, do me a favor. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Can I also tell you all, want to send a big shout out to my girl, Nidra Williams. Nidra, I need you to send me some pictures. I need y'all to show us some love today. Shout out to Latasha Dirty Red for the 2,200 stars today. Shout out to Stephanie Hodo, Kelly Turner, Yashika Wadi, Morgana, to my beautiful wife, and to Marvin Bell. Hey y'all, we working hard today. It's just been a crazy weekend. Shout out to Donnell Craig. Oh, for the 1,000 stars, y'all. We need that aid and assist. Hey y'all, keep on keeping the show going. I appreciate y'all. It's going down. Ooh. All right, Marvin Bell. All right, Daryl Wright. I think I might keep them on for my alerts, my star alerts. What up? It's not the headphones. It's not the headphones. It's not the headphones. It's the... Todd, let me see your headphones. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, I want to go back to this conversation of the Dan Ryan shutdown. The Dan Ryan shutdown was led by black men. It was not the Chicago police. I think the Chicago police was like, thank God the black men showed up. But it seemed to me, Todd, that it's boiling down. I think what we saw with the proposed shutdown of the Dan Ryan and then the subsequent outbreaks downtown where the police officers were getting beat with skateboards and all that stuff,
right,
was that it was not a Black Lives Matter. It was not black people. Right? Because the beginning of that was at 47th and it was supposed to be a march downtown. The black folks wasn't going.
Right.
So now when they get downtown, the white folks who, once again, changed clothes, pulled on rain jackets, and then pulled out umbrellas and got to fighting with the police. Todd, those people took over. That we're close right there. Those people took over. Those people took over, man. And I think what we are now able to see is that Black Lives, and I hope white folks are paying attention to this, Black Lives Matter, or what you have interpreted as Black Lives Matter, is not really black issues. It is not really black people that are out there tearing up the world.
No.
It is white kids, white folks from the suburbs that have figured out that they can, under the cover, the same way that they talk about white supremacists doing stuff in Minnesota. Remember how they were saying it was white supremacists dressed up as black people or kicking off stuff?
Right.
The same thing is happening with white liberals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we saw that by the 47th Street and the brothers literally kicking the black folks out, that the black people left were not black people that typically participate in what's really going on in black Chicago. They were the black folks that have been propped up by the communists, the revolutionaries, and all of those people. And what they found was, did you see? Because it was the rabbi, and then it was like two black people,
rabbi,
and then the rest of it was all white people.
Right.
It was like the rabbi of the white people, of the white socialists. Because I think the white folks get that if you stand up here trying to tell us what we gonna do, I think ain't nobody listening. And I think based on the crowd that was cleaning it up the other day, somebody might have got a mouth shot. Like, could you imagine a white guy standing up there talking about we doing this because the black people need to? So I think they went and found a black person or some black people.
Yeah, I got nothing against the black rabbi, but
the black rabbi don't speak for the black people in Chicago. Now maybe
usually not.
Let me add, he usually is the black rabbi of the Communist Party. Let me ask, you know what we need to talk to our Hebrew Israelites. We need to talk to our Hebrew Israelites and find out is he like the guy? Should we be listening to him?
Mm-hmm.
Israel, what's up? Is that somebody we need to be tuning into? Well, I know this. They got ran out and then they went downtown. And then you know what I noticed when they got downtown? That it wasn't Black Lives Matter flags that were flying. It was red, white, and green flags that were flying. It was everything but us.
Uh-huh.
Then I saw that it evolved into a protest of ICE. And I was like, now what we got to do with ICE?
Yeah, that happened.
I ain't never been worried about ICE in my life. Matter of fact, I was like, they need to create a program. That's all right, I'm going to stop that. That's a whole nother story. So now, Todd, I think what we've got is a separation that we needed to have is starting to happen. So I think
you're right.
People who have been saying they're out here marching for black lives, the black people like, no, you ain't. So now I wonder what's going to happen with all them white people that's been doing their thing.
But I still say, all you young folks, all you smart young folks who like, well, they won't listen to me in the NAACP. I can't do it. Well, yeah. So now you have nothing to fight with. And now you run to these groups and then you find out they ain't fighting for what I want. They just fighting.
Well, I think what's going to be interesting is, I'm going to say that for 8:30 because I think that maybe the fight has changed and we just old, Todd.
Well, we are old.
I mean, you old. I'm getting there. But I think the fight may have changed. Look, we're going to come back after. It is 7:30. It is 71, mostly cloudy. High 79, low 67. When we come back, we're going to be talking to 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez. He has been under assault here, Todd, for some weeks now. Alderman Lopez and I first connected on this, what happened with these street outreach organizations. Since then, his windows have been broken. He has been on the news. He's become a national celebrity. But the things he said, I wish we had that clip from the beginning when he talked about the street gangs roving the neighborhoods with AK-47s and all that stuff.
Right.
And it seems like when the mayor told him he was a complete idiot and a complete fool, seems like he forecasted what was happening. Looks like we'll talk about it when we come back. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger. When we come back, 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez. Okay. Todd, you got the camera.
Camera. Is that camera or camera? I made, no, I didn't make. Somebody made a suggestion that, well, he showed a picture of Kamala Harris's family in some native Indian dress and said something about the boule having hummus and something else, something that I actually like. I was like, man, I like that food. I don't care what they. I like Indian food, but I'm not. I mean, I'm. Maze and I are on the same page, and I'm not going to fight about her being Indian or anything else. That doesn't bother me. They'd be like, if I'm going to be fighting something, I'm going to be fighting about Pence being he'd probably be the poster boy for white conservatism. As I always say, white conservatism, or any conservatism, basically means that things should stay the same. There should not really be any change. And for black people, that's a no-go. It's easy for the guys who have privilege in society to say, let's keep things the same. They know they can get to a certain spot, but for most of our people, they can't. I mean, yeah, there's always some people who are going to be able to get out and do more. But for a whole segment of the population in our neighborhoods, that option is not really there. How do we change that around? Look at that beard. I'm getting old. I think it may be time to trim the old beard again. Excuse me. Yeah, I would sure like to see black people. Unfortunately, money comes through white people because they got it. But I like to see us take control of the vision and the fight for equality. Equality or equity? Which one is it? No, equity.
Talk about our problems. Baby, it's a shame. What's all about?
I've got my contacts in, but now I need reading glasses. Contacts don't fit like they used to. The good old days are gone.
Girl, it's always just a shame we gotta go through this. We don't even talk, girl. We don't even kiss. Thought you'd be breaking up like this, but it's over now. It's over now. Gotta go through this. Oh, wait. Shoot up, shoot up, shoot up, shoot up, shoot down, 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 shoot up, shoot up, down, shoot up, down. It's written all over your face, and you don't have to say a word. It's smile, 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 smile for me. Any word I ever heard. You know that I'm a very lucky guy to have someone like you. Man, you look real in the life of you before my dreams come true. Love the way you carry you. Taste.
Oh.
After I hear it written all over your face.
Ray says he's migrating.
Don't have to say how much you're real for me.
Because he's waiting for the radio show to start.
All over your face. Boom, boom, boom. It's written all over your face. Woohoo! And you don't have to say a word. You smile, you smile, you smile, you smile for me. It's more than any word I ever heard. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Dang, man. I'm going to tell you. It is the Maze Jackson Show. Got my co-host, Todd, Sonia, Escobar. But Todd, on the live line, we have with us 15th Ward Alderman Raymond Lopez.
I know. I saw it on Facebook. It said, I am waiting to get on the Maze Jackson.
He is waiting to get on the Maze Jackson Show. I wonder if he's broadcasting from a secret location. Because, you know,
that's exactly what it says.
Doesn't say, is he broadcasting from a secret location? Well, let me tell you what, I feel good that we got him on the live line. You know, he is broadcasting from the bunker. I know a little bit about broadcasting from the bunker. I was broadcasting from the bunker when we discovered the story of the street organizations that were engaged by Mayor Lloyd Lightfoot to protect their neighborhoods. It was that story that led from the bunker to the birth of What's in It for the Black People media. You know, that story kind of went away. We haven't talked about it very much, except for we did just see a story about the guy who got impaled by the crowbar. Remember? They threw it was like a spear, and they threw it through the windshield, and he went through his shoulder. But we have since seen the city. Did we lose him? Uh-oh. Alright, there he goes. So, I think I lost him. Okay, I'm sorry. So, look, let me tell you. So, we talked to this Alderman Ray Lopez, who had broken the story about what was going on. He told the mayor that the streets there were people walking around with AK-47s. That was when we learned about the mayor's vulgar use of language. FOS, she used a full of caca, but a more fun word. Alderman Lopez returned fire with, well, F you! And since then, it's just been on and popping. Here to talk to us about what is going on now, broadcasting from the secret location, is 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez. Alderman Lopez, what's up, man?
Good morning, everyone. How are you guys
Good
today?
morning.
All right, I guess we should be asking, how are you doing? Broadcasting from a secret location. Has it gotten that bad?
Otherwise known as my kitchen. Although I have to say, Maze, before you get to your question, my dog loved your singing here.
That might be the only person, the only animal that, you know, they say a dog loves you. So maybe that's the only person. Why are you so staticky? Huh? Okay, so we gotta come back. All right, look. Alderman, can you hear us?
Right now.
I can hear you.
Okay, so we got a little static, but we're gonna have to keep on rocking. Alderman, so talk to us first of all. Where are we in the city of Chicago?
Well, right now we're seeing the continued escalation of the violence. We see more and more of the organized efforts to destabilize our city. And what we saw Saturday night was now, you know, you mentioned that I warned the mayor months ago. I actually sent her a letter at the end of June saying you've got to look out for some of these street outreach groups. And what we saw last night was some of those same outreach groups that we use for stopping the violence, those same groups that we get money to both publicly and through our public and private partnerships, actually pushing back and fighting and instigating situations on Wacker Drive only so that they can say that the police were mean to them and that they were being abused and attacked because they are, quote-unquote, black and brown children. These are the mayor's street outreach teams, the ones that she said Friday were going to be helping us maintain Chicago,
working against us and our police.
Wait, back up. What did she say on Friday? Wait. Explain to me what you mean by that, because I thought the outreach work. How does that whole network work? Help me explain that to our listeners.
So, as you know, or may not know, the mayor's office, through her deputy mayor of public safety, Susan Lee, the same woman who authorized the use of gangs during the May and June rioting and looting, has had a policy of working with what they call the street outreach groups and organizations, those neighborhood groups that are trying to be like the new version of ceasefire, to try and mitigate the tensions that are in our neighborhoods. And when they work well, they work very well. So I'm not trying, first and foremost, to put them down. However, we're seeing a splinter group of these individuals who are taking the money and yet still working against us. The Chicago Community Trust gave 18 organizations, they split a $1.5 million grant, about $83,000 each, for the purpose of building peace in our neighborhoods. And, we can prove one of those groups specifically from my ward, Increase the Peace, was there yesterday, locking arms, pushing toward the police, and at one point, one of their members even trying to spray a cop in the face with some unknown canister. This is not what we're paying for. We see all this unrest, we see all this acrimony building up, and it's all fabricated by the people who should be working with us.
Now, Alderman, so some people would ask, how does an organization that is working against the city get funding from the Chicago Community Trust? Because those are two separate organizations. So why are you tying those two together?
Well, this public-private partnership duality is something that we have used in government for a long time. And, Todd, you know that government can't fund everything, so it looks to partners to help us do the programs we want to do when we don't have the money to do it, basically. And this organization, Chicago Community Trust, has helped with a lot of good things throughout the city of Chicago. Unfortunately, now we're at a point where this is just one of those things that's gotten away from us, gotten away from the mayor, and we need to pull it back. We need to evaluate and reassess what their goal is, what their role is, and are they achieving what we want them to do and not what they want to do. Alderman Taliaferro, chairman of Public Safety, introduced an resolution calling for hearings at the July meeting, saying that it was time, at least from the city's perspective, to start evaluating how we give away $6 million for anti-violence efforts and what impact and what metrics we're using to evaluate them.
Wait, back up.
For our private partners too.
Back up. Alderman Taliaferro is clearly a mayoral ally. Why would he be participating in something like this when it seems like it might be clearly anti-mayor when you are asking for this evaluation? Or am I missing something?
Well, Mays, that's the question. The question is, why would something that is pro-neighborhood be considered anti-mayor? That's the bigger question.
Wow.
Why is making sure that money that we spend to protect our neighborhoods in our streets? We've got a great organization in Englewood, Hugs No Slugs. If they are part of our partners, great. What do we do to help them improve? But if we have other organizations that are working against us, how do we hold them accountable?
Now, Alderman, you're making some pretty salacious accusations when you're saying that these community groups are working against us. Do you really have any proof of this?
I mean, there's videos out right now. You could even go on the Chicago Police's website and look at the videos, and you can identify individuals that I'm referring to, people who you've, I think, even referenced on your show, like Berto Aguayo and others.
Man, Berto is my dude. Wait, what you mean? Now, you can't possibly tell me Berto is involved in anything. That's a good dude. What could he have possibly been doing against the city?
Watch the video.
And how do we know it's him, man? No. We learned about the city of Chicago. You cannot believe your own eyes, because the mayor will tell us every day that the city is under control. She says she's not going to tolerate it. And every day I look outside and I'm like, is that fire? that smoke I smell? So I don't know if I can trust my own eyes. Look, Alderman, when we come back, I'm going to ask you to give me some real, some insights as to what you are suggesting is going on with these community groups. And then I really want to know, what are you all going to do to make us safe in the city of Chicago? Because I'm starting to believe that the aldermen are abdicating their power to the mayor, and it's leaving all of us unsafe. So when we come back, I want to have that conversation. This is the Maze Jackson Show, talking to 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez.
The Maze Jackson Show will be
what's
back
up, y'all?
after this break.
So when someone gave some stars on Facebook, I heard the bing on air.
Yeah, because my phone isn't muted. My computer wasn't muted. I knew that. That's not what's doing that's not what's giving us the echo. Right? That was just, I just turned it on. I can mute that. That's not what it is. It is literally,
because the Facebook is off on your laptop, right? The volume turned on.
I just turned it off. It was, but you weren't hearing my talking. Take a moment, share the broadcast. It's your man, Maze Jackson. Now, I want to take a moment to thank all the top star senders today, the people that have been showing us love on the live feed. Todd, do me a favor. Turn these down so that the mic don't go straight into the mic. Shout out to my man Hassan El Amin with the 50-50. Shout out to Christopher Divine with the 2600. Shout out to Tasha Dirty Red 2235. Shout out to Donnell Craig with 1,000. Deborah Thomas 795. Kathy Wiley, Marvin Bell, all y'all. Demetrius Thomas, Derek L. That's Derek Woods, man. What up, Malik Ayuba? What up, Daryl Roddy? What up, Stephen Hodo? Kelly Turner, Yashika Wadi, and Morgana. Thank you all. Hey, man. I need y'all to help me raise. So this is the thing. I need to raise 8 million stars so that we can keep the show going. 8 million. We need 8 million stars to be completely independent. 8 million. You think we could do a drive to 8 million? I'm gonna tell you, what I need is, I want to put everybody on the show, on radio. I really want to buy a radio station, y'all. I ain't gonna even lie. I want to buy our own. Thank you all for y'all support. Also, we're gonna be asking you all to subscribe too. Excited to announce we're going to be showing movies on Saturday nights, guys. Black original movies on Saturday nights. Get ready. I'm telling you, Todd, you should become an investor in our industry, man. In our entity. We're gonna get rich, man. I'm just telling you, I'm about to do a movie deal now. Like with original black movies on Saturday night, where you can see new movies by black artists. You just gotta pay like $10 and you get 200 people. It's like having a full theater, right?
That's a pretty clever idea. Hans watches movies. Well, I don't know if he does anymore, but he used to watch movies on the computer with other people.
Well, they do.
Like, what are you doing?
And then you watch movies and they have conversations, but also you could put it on your big screen on Saturday night.
With people he's never met in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
Saturday. So imagine on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock, Just like, what was the old boy with the theater? Family Classics.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody sits down, curates, and then says, and we're going to watch, and then you put it on your big screen, and everybody watches the black movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Brother from Another Planet. That's my choice. Bad boys.
Whoop.
When they come for you.
Vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
Hey y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey Todd, this is WBGX 1570 AM live. Give us a call, 872-7474. Oh, excuse me, 872-259-7474. We are on the live line with 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez. Alderman, where are we as a city? I was out with a group of people this weekend. We were at the Cubs game. Don't tell nobody, I'm a Southside guy. But at the Cubs game, what I heard from what seemed to be what I would have thought was the mayor's base on the north side, they were all suggesting that maybe the mayor is in over her head. Where are we as a city? And what is the city council seeing, thinking, or doing? Because, I mean, I just feel like y'all are just left us to our own devices. Like, it's every man for himself. I'm telling you, I'm shopping for guns. Every day I'll go buy a new gun. Like I do. And I'll be like, I'm waiting behind the door. Like, don't come through that door. I'm getting you. I'm waiting for them to start the home invasions. Talk to me, Alderman. Where are we right now in the city of Chicago?
Well, I think definitely many Chicagoans feel like they are left to their own. They've been feeling like that ever since the May rioting and looting that hit our city, when they saw the focus was the National Guard going downtown to protect, the river north. But yet all of our neighborhoods, south, west, and everywhere in between were left to fend for themselves. And I, for one, have been trying to be loud. I know Alderman Beal and even recently more so Alderman Hopkins have been raising the alarms, but we're a handful out of 50. And I think it's incumbent on your listeners to call your alderman. And yeah, I'm going to throw my colleagues under the bus at the moment and demand to know what they've been doing. Are they sitting by while the mayor is floundering, or are they willing to step up and do what they need to do to protect our city?
No.
I think that it's very easy to say that the mayor's over her head, but this is a big job. But what the mayor has done is cut herself off from everybody who has the knowledge to help her, the will to help her. Even I, though I have my disagreements with her, would drop everything in a heartbeat if she said, Raymond, come here and tell me what we can do to make this stop. I'd leave right now. I'd hang up on you right now, man.
No, you wouldn't. I'm going to tell you what. You hang up on me, dog. We're going to have problems. But I'm going to tell you, Alderman, can I tell you something? I actually feel the same way. Right? I have an axe in my mind to grind. But I do feel like we are all Chicagoans. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily feel like the mayor thinks we're all Chicagoans. And I feel like everybody is waiting for somebody else to do something. I am going to say it caught me way off guard to see Alderman Hopkins speak up. Because Alderman Hopkins, pretty shrewd guy. He doesn't really speak out against him. I've tried to get him a lot of times to be like, hey man, and he's always been very judicious. What does it mean when we see people like Alderman Hopkins, who is now, as aldermanic prerogative is going away, is now no longer able to protect his constituents? Are we going to get to 26?
I think it says a lot about where we're at in this city when, like you said, you were at that large outdoor bar on the north side this weekend.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And I think it's happy birthday to Madam President, isn't it?
Who?
Was it for her birthday or was it for your birthday?
No, it was our first date out. No, let me just tell you, it was our first date out since the pandemic.
Oh, that's it. Well, congratulations on your first date.
Thank you.
But I think that it says a lot when her base over there is starting to get a sense of buyer's remorse. And I think what we're seeing now more than ever is that people want someone to lead. They need Chicago to have direction. We can't do everything by committee. We can't do everything by, polls and Twitter. We need someone to make a damn decision in this city, good or bad. Make it and own it. And I think what we get from the mayor is an unwillingness to own the decisions that are being made either directly or indirectly by her or her administration. And we're going to continue to see this madness spread. We're going to continue to see a lot of the efforts that she was promoting that are good. And let me say without a doubt, there are things that I do believe that she is right to address. I think the Invest Southwest had the potential of being very transformative in many of our communities that have been underserved. However, how are you going to get anyone to invest in Englewood on 63rd Street if you can't even protect the Magnificent Mile? How are you going to get anyone to say Chicago is the place where I'm going to invest my blood, sweat, and tears into creating something new if you're allowing and standing by as 100-year-old businesses are being wiped off the map? You're not. And we need to stop the hemorrhaging and start focusing on how to make all our neighborhoods better by showing that we are, as you said, one city with the same goals.
Man, do you feel like it is one city, though? Honestly? Like, I feel like the mayor has, quite frankly, separated us. I feel like it is a tale of two cities. As I watch the response to how they're going after what happened with the looters in downtown, it seems like there is only reaction, not proaction.
This is what happens when your work group around you is a bunch of people who only lived in privilege all their life and never been in the neighborhood and don't know nothing about it.
100% agree, Todd. Actually, I have to deal with two corridors with the mayor, and in my Englewood corridor, the guy that she assigned to help us attract businesses to Englewood is from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, they would know that.
Kenosha, Wisconsin. You know what?
When I think of Englewood businesses, Kenosha, Wisconsin is the first thing that comes to my mind.
You are such a
And I want to give a shout out to my colleagues, Alderman Coleman and Alderman Taylor, who joined me in working to put an end to these meetings until they found someone who is more representative of our neighborhoods. So aldermen are standing up, especially the younger aldermen are standing up because they're tired of the two-faced, speaking out of both sides of your mouth nonsense that we're getting from Lightfoot right now.
Oh, wait. And on that note, Alderman, I'm going to stop you right there because we're going to have you back probably next week or in another week or two. Hey, Alderman, we appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Yo.
Maze, before we go, let me just say one thing.
Yes, quickly.
A couple months back, I said some salacious things, and I turned out to be right, correct?
Yep.
Just because it sounds crazy now doesn't mean in 2 months I'm not going to be proven exactly correct.
Oh, wait.
Let's not wait 2 months.
Let's not wait 2 more months. Hey, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. That's 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez. We'll be back after these messages with Amisha Cross.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey.
All you gotta do is get up on the time has come for us. It's come for us, ooh baby, to get real busy, baby. Oh, yes, it is. Afraid of my love. 'cause it won't hurt your sugar. Oh yeah, oh it won't. Oh yeah. If you really, really want it, if you really want it, get up on it. If you really, really want it, all you gotta do is get up on it. Tamiko Hope with the big 5,000 in the building. Get real bricky, baby. Oh, yes, I do, baby. And I'm on my hands and knees. If you really, really want it, all you gotta do is get up on it. If you really, really want it, all you gotta do is get up on it. Whoa. Looking for this generation, feeling hopeless. My eyes open, ain't fun focus, ain't no hocus pocus. They will all know it. What up, T Renee? What up, Randy Span? Ruthie is back next Monday. I had it wrong. 3 weeks, not 2 weeks. Don't let no one put you down. Let me see you smile. It's okay to be black.
It's okay to be black.
Shine, shine, you're beautiful inside. Hey, rise up, rise up. Don't you know you can fly? Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, but you know how we do at the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to the rest of the show team. What's up to Miss Sonia Escobar on the wheels of steel. All right, man. I am ready. Sonia, can you turn my headphones up just a little bit? Maybe that's what I'm doing. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. But y'all know every Monday what we do, we take the soul plane all the way to Washington, D.C. for the Washington, D.C. update. Now, I don't know if she is in D.C. or if she's actually at the DNC, which actually she could be in. She could be in D.C. at the DNC, not in Milwaukee. See how I did that? See? I be rapping, G. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. What's up, Amisha Cross? How you feeling this morning? You like the rap? It's the what? Eat your eggs before I break your legs. And then she said, what she say? What was it? What did he say? My rap too slick, my tongue too quick. I got gallant talent like a magic trick. And then his mama said, eat your eggs before I break your legs. That is a bit of Beach Street trivia. Beach Street. I wanted to be Liam Beach Street. Amisha's like,
I'll never know that because I'm a Crush Groove man.
Crush grooving, body moving, body. And meanwhile, Amisha's like, I've seen none of these movies at all. Did you see Beach Street, Amisha, before we even go? Go ahead, tell the truth.
No, I had no idea what y'all were talking about.
Oh my God! You didn't know he was talking about Beach Street? You gotta watch Beach Street. Okay, you gotta watch Beach Street.
Don't listen to him. Crush Groove.
Crush Groove was good too. Crush Groove was like the R&B merger. Beach Street was the pure B-boy, and Breaking was for the California soft guys with the and again, Amisha's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Anyway, Amisha, you got so much to talk about though, because I do not think that we talked since Kamala. I got that right. Kamala has been announced as the vice president pick. We got the Democratic National Convention going on. Trump has a counter DNC plan, plus the mail-in voting controversy. We got a presidential race. I want to know where we are. The polls say we got an 8-point difference, that Trump is within the margin of error in most of the swing states, battleground states. I think that people are starting to, on the talking heads, are starting to hedge their bets, as well as I want to know, is this a sure thing for Biden? So we got a full roster, Amisha. Let's start with, I'll let you pick where you want to start.
Sure. So today is the first day of the Democratic National Convention. It kicks off tonight at 8 o'clock.
Now, who are you covering for? Are you covering?
Yes. So I'm going to be covering for Sinclair, but also doing some work for a ABC affiliate.
Okay,
so
good stuff.
It's going to be exciting.
Wonderful. Talk to me. So what is going to be going on with this DNC? So the last DNC I went to was Obama in Charlotte. And let me just tell you, that's when I learned about Democratic classes. Right? I had a finance committee pass, and boy, you get a lot of perks. A lot of perks. How does a convention work on Zoom? I saw Chris Welch opened up his box and he had T-shirts and buttons. I was like, that's a slip from what's going on. How are people handling this new virtual reality DNC convention?
Well, as you know, people are actually upset about it. The candidates themselves, it is what it is. You have to respect the fact that COVID-19 is here. But in terms of the delegates who would have been used to or would have been excited about going to the convention live, they're not going to be able to do that. This is a much more scaled-down convention. It is 87% virtual. The majority of people will be doing it via an online form. And you're going to have live feedback and comments and things like that. But for those of us who actually attended a Democratic National Convention, it's not going to feel the same.
Man, you ain't good at them bad boys.
Exactly how they're going to make sure that this experience is strong for those who, for many people, this will be their first time ever, attending a DNC. But it also, for the most part, opens it up to an audience that typically would have been left out of the DNC. So there's a good side of it as well, because with the way it's set up, anybody can log on and have the experience, and that's not necessarily how the DNC has been in the past. You and I both know it is typically a very exclusive event. Tickets are hard to come by, and hotels fill up very quickly.
Yeah, that's why you got to know. You got to get a plug. Like, if you want to be plugged at the DNC, you got to get a plug. Now, if you're a delegate, you get to move around. But if you ain't a delegate, you need a plug at the DNC. But I wonder, without an actual event, without all of the perks, without all of the bells and whistles, will they be able to raise the money they need? I saw that they said that they raised.
I think absolutely, especially because opening night has the biggest and heavy hitters. You have former First Lady Michelle Obama, you have Bernie Sanders, you have Governor Cuomo, you have Jim Clyburn. This night, and you have former Governor John Kasich, and this is the first time in U.S. history where you have a Republican who is speaking and lead up to what could be the most different, I'd probably say the most historical convention we've seen as of late.
Misha, I don't know about that though. I think it's hard. I think that part of the whole DNC experience is to get the high dollar donors their perks. What are the perks that they give now? I know you can pay, but it's hard for me to tell you, I'll give you $50 million. But because I saw when they reported the Kamala Harris fundraising bounce, it was only $48 million. That seems like a far cry from raising gangbuster dollars. Let me ask you. So
I would also say that was in the first few hours of the announcement. They've raised more than 3 times that as of today.
So I guess my question then would be, and we talk about that. We had seen the Obama races and Hillary Clinton race approach $1 billion, right? It doesn't seem like the funding is flowing that way this time. We haven't seen the super PACs taking all that action. It doesn't seem like as active of an election. Now, is that just because of COVID, you think?
I think in large part it is because of COVID and because they are spending the money in different ways. Typically, you raise more because you need more feet on the ground, you need more mail, you need all of these other things and campaign ads. What they have done is segment the way that they reach out to people, partially because we know that the black turnout is going to matter more in this Democratic race probably than we've seen in the last few. And in large part, the DNC has made a concerted effort because they've heard from black consultants that black people are going to respond to media in a different way, largely investing in radio. So they've chosen to move away from a lot of the investment in TV and less it's radio, also digital ads, because all of the campaign activity is going digital anyway, and we're watching that stream in a different fashion than we've seen before. But we also need to look at the fact that in these swing states, in these states that went for Trump last year, but in 2008 and 2012 went for Obama, there has been a heavy investment by the Biden campaign over the past 2 months, where he has actually funded them a lot more heavily, 3-1, than the Trump campaign has.
It'll be interesting to see, because I think one of the things that I'm also seeing is that the Democratic Party, while they're investing, I don't know if their strategy of dividing the black community is working. I hear so much about black women, and I hear just the silence of black men. And I think that as they need to get that historic turnout, the bet on women alone is probably not going to pan out. Hey, I want to go to the Kamala Harris nomination as vice president, though. I want to get your feedback on that. Talk to me about it, because I saw a lot of divisiveness regarding the pick, regarding her race, regarding whether she was black enough. And then I think the subsequent response to the questions, I wonder how that works in the Democrats' favor. So talk to me about the Kamala Harris pick from your perspective.
From my perspective, the Kamala Harris pick was the most strategic and the smartest that he could have out of the crop of individuals that were in that VP pick nomination process. And it wasn't necessarily surprising. Anyone who has been close to the Biden camp or has watched along this way knew that as soon as she stepped down from actually running for president, she was a top contender. Because what Kamala brings to the ticket, in addition to diversity and also, being a first in two different ways, not only being the first black woman, but also being the first Asian American woman, those are things that I think matter to several different demographics, especially those that are growing in this country in terms of power and leadership anyway. But one of the other things Kamala brings is that she is steadfast and she is dogged when it comes to responding to attacks and lodging those attacks herself. She proved that when she was fighting against Biden as a worthy opponent on the debate stage, but also during the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearing. She did it again when it came to the Senate grills for President Trump, specifically around the Russia investigation. She has done it time and time again, and I think that because she is someone who has shown that she's not afraid to throw some punches, and she's someone who can also take them back, very studied, very poised, very intellectual. I think that those are things that help her in many ways.
Interesting. Talk to me about the backlash, though. Seems like it wasn't that. I think the pick was strategic, but there seemed to be a visceral reaction, especially in the social space. Not so much from the white folks, but from the black folks. I initially thought it was really just black men, but I think that some of the same things that came up before have reared their head. I think that, so I'm curious to know your thoughts on, can Kamala unify the black community, a black community that is steadily getting more and more skeptical of the Democratic Party?
Well, the good thing about Kamala, and I've said this before, is that she actually dug her heels in and ran for president, because none of the jabs that are coming at her now are jabs that she didn't get when she was on that debate stage. So yes, there are questions about her heritage, but those questions I would add are amplified by the Republican Party themselves, who have a habit of, at this point, we've seen time and time again, questioning people's heritage who happen to not be white. And that's anybody, whether that person is Latino born in America, whether that person is black born in America, or the melting pot of races that we happen to see in this country. And I think that for Kamala, specific to the black community, what we've seen, and she again addressed this on the campaign trail when she was running for president, is that there's a significant amount of, and I'll call it for what it is, ignorance within our community when people decide that they are going to segment or give a litmus test to blackness. And it's frustrating. And I think that for her, as somebody who grew up wedging two communities together, as someone who went to Howard by choice, as someone who is a Divine Nine sorority member, as someone who has never personally identified publicly as anything other than black. She has never presented herself as anything else.
That's not
That
true.
is a hard sell for her.
That's not true though, Misha. That's actually not true. There's plenty of videos of her, and actually when she was sworn
she's
into
on her blackness every
I'm not-
time she gets.
I'm not debating.
She talks about her mom, and you should not talk about your parent. But I do think that there is a bit of a disingenuousness when it comes to that. When it comes to our community, and for black men, we've seen the relationship with Kamala be very different, and it's not necessarily some of it's based on race. The other part is based on, I would argue, a certain level of misogyny and attack that we've seen on women, particularly black women. And the other piece is largely, I think, for some people, looking at her record when she was a prosecutor. But again, these are questions and these are things that she was pointedly responding to when she ran in the beginning.
I got you.
None of these attacks are new, and she's got a response to them all.
I think we're going to talk about it more when we come back. I think that the fact of the matter is, her responses, in my estimation, were not enough to save her during when she ran for president. And I don't know if she adequately responded to them. Because and I think the other part is, I think you can call it ignorance, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's real. And I think that the more name calling that occurs, I think what's happening now is we are creating black deplorables. When we come back, we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about kind of this matchup one-on-one. How does it play out when Trump and Biden? And I don't know, man. It just seems like this thing is. I think the Democrats have been playing they've not been playing to win, they've been playing not to lose, and it seems like it's slipping away. We'll talk about it more when we come back. This is the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show.
I think every time you call somebody ignorant and they know their relationship with the Indian community, right? Like the black community, I think that, again, the black elite lose more votes. I think that most of the people, the concerns about Kamala are real in the black community. Whether you feel they're founded or not founded, they're real. And you saw it play out when she ran for president. Nobody stepped up to save her. Nobody ran to the forefront. Joe Biden, when he was in a pinch, black folks stepped up. Now,
South Carolina.
But it was again,
South Carolina might as well be Mississippi and Alabama.
Okay, so Kamala Harris, though, did she run in South Carolina? Did she drop out before that? So if she dropped out before she got to South Carolina, then she lost in all the places where she should have been strong, in urban black women, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you that...
She's running for vice president. I'm running for president.
I get you. I'm saying, though, that what is motivating the black vote right now?
Self-preservation, hopefully.
I think that's the... I just think that people...
What's your shirt say? We all we got.
We all we got.
There we go. Right there.
Who's the weeder? I mean, same people telling you...
I haven't figured that out yet. We in trouble.
So the same people telling us that, same ones allowing us to get fucked in Chicago. Got my boy. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And we on the live line with Miss Amisha Cross. Amisha, you still there? I got you? Okay, cool. All right, so Amisha, when we went to the break, we were discussing this Kamala Harris, and I think the conversation around it. One of the things that I have been watching, I'm going to be honest with you, I think my concerns regarding Kamala have always been pretty clear. But I've decided I'm not going to even touch the race thing at all. I'm going to let that be. I think my concern right now is that there is, you can call it ignorance, you can call it misogyny, you can call it, even though it's not just coming from black men, there is controversy surrounding Kamala in the black community. And I understand all of the components. I think one of the things that I'm seeing, though, is not a actual response to address it beyond just saying you're stupid for saying that. And I'm concerned that the Democratic Party is creating their own version of black deplorables. What in your estimation does the party need to do to bring everybody together? Because it seems like from the Bernie Bros all the way to the black community, there seems to be a lot of division in the party. What is the party doing to bring in the people who may not? What are they doing to bring in the disgruntled black people, do you think?
The issue that we tend to face, I think that the party is working very hard, specifically right now, to try to understand it, which I would argue the Democratic Party has not done in the past. There is a huge difference between the gap between rural African Americans and Western African Americans and African Americans in urban areas, and the needs and the wants of that community. But there is even a bigger difference between the needs and the policy priorities of black women and black men. And the party right now, because they've largely relied on, for the longest, your white upper middle class liberals to tell them what their policy platform should be, are now having a reckoning with the fact that they have to bring in these groups that historically they have not, outside of outreach around campaign time. So now it means they have to develop these policies and reach out to black men and have these conversations, and who are typically, like I said, left out. And I think that you've talked about this yourself on the show several times, who have historically been left out. Everyone knows the importance of the black vote, but when it comes to black policy, specifically black policy designed for people who have not been represented, that's what the big issue is for the Democratic Party right now. And part of that you're going to see come out during the next 3 days of the DNC convention. Black men are going to be a big part of the conversation. Black men are going to be a big part of the policy-making process. And black men are being elevated, and I know this personally, on the Biden campaign, not only in leadership roles, but also in roles that shape the policy and the fundamental development of what it means to move black men forward. And that's something that I would argue the Democratic Party is late to the game on. We should have been having these discussions before 2020, but this is where we are.
Got it. I guess my bet is, I wonder how many of those people will be like actual black people, or will they be like, again, what I always often see is that when the party picks the black people that they're going to put in play, usually if it's a black dude, he's a gay black dude, right? No shade to the gay black dudes, but realistically, they don't want to really be put in a position where they're uncomfortable and their norms are challenged. So I'll just be interested to see this outreach and the role of black men. Oftentimes, black men will be discussed without really having them in the room, or they'll be discussed by women for what's good for men. But we'll talk about that later. Amisha,
the recognition is this, though, Maeve. At this point in our election cycle process, and I am sure this is one of your follow-up questions anyway, this race is going to be won within the margins. So you cannot, it's going to be close as hell. You cannot afford to ignore black men, because we're not going to win this race based on black women alone. We're not going to win this race based on not amplifying the issues that black men care about. And if black men stay home, this is a Donald Trump run race, hands down.
And I see absolutely nothing that targets black men. And I think that even just the questions that have been from the being called misogynist to being called ignorant to being called all of those different things, I'm just going to say that I believe that black men are starting to become deplorables. And I just want to caution the party and I think they need to start figuring out how do they teach social messaging, because I would tell you that most people, I see black men voting against the party, just not because of Kamala or Joe Biden, but because of the person that's called them every name in the book on Facebook, because they got a different opinion. Last question, Amisha. The presidential race is now, again, within 8 points. We're talking about, is this mail-in balloting really a smart move for the Democrats? Realistically, and the reason I say that is because if we're going to talk about swing states, in the swing states, the Republicans control the Secretary of State's office. They're taking up the mailboxes. I know if it was me, I would be guaranteeing this election right now. Are they falling down a path that may not be a winner for them? Because, Democrats would be like, no fair. Republicans would be like, we know. We'll still take it.
It's a smart path, but one that requires a lot of work to get done. And I want to clear something up for a second, because I think that it's often confused in the media as well as in political circles. There's a big difference between mail-in voting and mail-in ballots and universal mail-in voting. Mail-in ballots we've been able to do and have done in this country for years. Somebody requests to have a ballot sent to them, they fill out the form goes back, they verify all their information, send you a mail-in ballot. The argument now, because of COVID, is universal mail-in voting, which means that everyone who has registered to vote will get a ballot sent to their house. This is something that in America we have never done before. And I think that when we're talking about it, we also have to take into consideration, yes, we have a president who has argued that he is going to basically kneecap the USPS, because the post office is literally the only way you're going to get these ballots out. But also the bigger point, and one that you mentioned specifically, Maeve, is these secretaries of state and how this is going to look. Because we see that in states that have largely conservative secretaries of state and people who have a vested interest in changing the election to bid whomever they feel appropriate. In this case, I would argue these are people who are in the bed of Donald Trump. These are folks who have, in this country, the majority of our secretaries of state, the majority of our governors happen to be Republicans. I don't see a place where this is not a showdown till the end. And if COVID numbers are what they are now, if we don't have a strategy to reduce COVID before November, we are going to see people who bow out of the general, going to vote in person. And part of that is also the poll workers. In America, the average poll worker is 65 years old. 65-year-olds aren't trying to be around hundreds of people a day. They just aren't, because they don't feel safe. So we're going to have an issue, whether it's the polls, you're voting at the polls, or whether you're voting by mail. It's going to be tough. And I think we just have to get ready for that.
I think that it does not bode well for Democrats, because a lot of bags of mail going to get missing from certain post offices. Hey, Amisha, it's always good to talk to you. And I hear you got something big coming up. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
Absolutely. So next month on the 15th, I will be launching my own show through Sinclair, and it is going to be a weekly news program. It is also going to be available on all Sinclair stations, but digital as well. So I'm really excited about it.
And we are excited for you, Amisha. We're looking forward to it, and we will be checking you out. Tell everybody how they can keep up with you.
Absolutely. You can catch me on all things social at Amisha Cross, and pretty much almost everywhere on TV at this point because it's going to be a long week of Democratic convention coverage.
All right, that is Miss Amisha Cross with our DC update. Always good to talk to her. Todd, when we come back, I want to talk about fighting back. Is the nonviolent approach over? We'll talk about it when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Got me and a flap to get back.
Whew. And I will see one to make me weak. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Todd. Oh gosh, Todd, the name calling. Ignorance, misogynist. How about, is it possible that you could just...
I'm trying to think of a name to call you, but...
You know what?
Drawing a blank.
All you gotta do is go on social media. They'll find plenty. They call me them all the time. Alright, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I'm my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, I'm gonna go to the phone lines because we have a caller. Let me go to Mr. Hold on. Mr. Thomas Nelson. Thomas Nelson, you are on the Maze Jackson Show. How are you this morning?
I'm great, and as always.
Oh, it's Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
And my main man, Todd.
Good morning. Hey, Tommy, I got a question for you. Do you say you make your own cabinets? Is that what you do as a living?
That's what I do, brother.
That's pretty interesting. I need to get your number. You might be out of my price range, but I still want to know what it is.
Hey, man, you should see his site, man. His page is all the time.
No, man. All you got to do is go to Facebook and look up A Custom Cabinet Design.
That's what I went.
And the site will come up.
Okay.
Go to A Custom.
And the phone number, A Custom Cabinet Design, and the number is right there. Give me a call, man.
Gotcha.
Because the reason why I've been able to stay and do what I do is it's just like what you and Todd, and especially you, Todd, what you tried to do with enlightening people about the political process and taking the difficulty out of what you didn't know so that you do know, so that you can make an informed decision on your interests. The same thing with you, Maze, when you do what you do in trying to inform what is absolutely not in it for them because you're too dumb to see the overlay for underplay. And this whole thing with Miss Harris, you don't have to call anybody name calling or anything else, but Todd, I don't want to take up a lot of you guys' time because your time is short. But let's just do the math. Until black people recognize that the symbolism that we need is the unification of ourselves in these communities and across this country, to me, the first black president and now the first female vice president equates to what? Oh, I know. I'm just a dumb black man. I can't figure out this stuff. Love you both. I love you guys. I really do, man. God bless you, man.
God bless you. Thank you,
Tommy. Thank you, man. All right, Todd, I'm going to let it go. You know I'm about to be through it first. You know I'm through it first, right? I'm through it, though, because we get the first this, the first that, and we still get last when it comes to the money. Don't talk to me about history no more. Talk to me about... I don't want to talk about your history. I don't want to make no more historic elections. I want some historic legislation.
I want to be historically appointed to some position.
You see, that's your problem. Always waiting for an appointment. You got to go make something happen, Todd. So let me ask a question. Did you appoint, you got somebody appointed to, you asked for somebody to be appointed to Alderman. They help you out? I'm going to stop.
When did this become about me?
It's when you said you looking for somebody to appoint you. Your people
should something historical.
Oh, something historical like the historic to the landmarks. See, that's what they gonna do. You gotta be specific, man. They will be like, "Oh, Todd, I got your commission to the landmarks." You'll be like, "Dang." I'm just saying though. Even the white boys get on the landmarks, and then what they do is landmark stuff because the rich people want to protect it.
Right.
So they landmark it, and then they still figure it out. Meanwhile, black people get nothing, nada. Let's go to the live lines. Bobby on the Maze Jackson Show. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Brother Ball, what's up, dog?
What's going on, y'all? Listen, man, I had a really, really great weekend. Let me start by saying my daughter got her first apartment, which is I dropped off, got her set up. Wasn't too happy because I know I got to go get her in 3 months and take everything out of her room that I just put in there.
Yeah, that's
so it's kind of like an oxymoron thing with this college thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Did you get your U-Haul?
We was back in there.
I know. My parents
we got to get the U-Haul. We just got to get the minivan and load up the baby fridge and the stove and the microwave and all that again. But, man, I come back to Chicago. I touched down about 7 o'clock evening, late evening. And what do I see? A couple brothers zipping around the neighborhood, and they hop out with their little girl purses on. And I look at my kids and say, well, y'all, we back home. And the feeling just really hit me, right? You know what I said? I said, at this age and stage in my life, I really can't take and handle the foolishness anymore. You know what I mean? Like my tolerance is getting low. You know, when you're waiting in line with people and the kids don't bother you, it's the adults that bother me nowadays. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm starting to see how everything is really real for me now, Amazing Todd. You know what I mean? So when you look at, like I was just saying, and shout out to Brother Tommy. I don't hear him that much. I'm glad he found the show. You know, Tommy has a way of breaking things down where they need to be broke, and they so broke up after he talks about it. I love having this conversation with people when they talk about voting. What are you expecting this time different than the last time you voted? This is my favorite question for everybody that's running to the polls. They say they're getting Trump out of office. Yeah. What are you expecting different? Not what are you demanding, because, you know, I have to tell people a race has to start off equal, don't it?
No, it does not. No, it does not. It does not have to start off equal, because all you got to do is look at cannabis. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You hit that line, everybody got to take off at that line together when that firing pistol starts.
Brother, they said, brother, I gotta tell you though, in Illinois we don't start off at the same line. I think you missed me. With the cannabis, we was all at the line together, and then they gave the white boys a head start.
My point exactly. We've never been at any starting line, but we're always trying to act like we're important or in place for things to happen. We don't make anything happen, so why are we expecting anything? You know what I mean? Yep. And this is what I'm telling people about the presidency. If we can't get anything locally, we didn't get anything on the weed, we didn't get anything on the construction side. They say we don't have any businesses. Now you're going national with the presidency. What are you expecting?
Same people. And here's the crazy part. The same people that we are watching on TV for shaking down the whole state, right? Are shaking down the whole state, presiding over it. Like, I feel like we supposed to be stupid. Like, they're like, the Democrats all come together in spite of controversy, and it's like, nah, dog. Do y'all understand how stupid y'all look with a dude that is under federal investigation, leading everybody talking about he gonna stop the corrupt president in office? Do y'all understand how stupid y'all look? I'm just saying. And it's like, I promise you, we don't even got, bruh, I swear to God, they swear we must look. I think they put Boo Boo the Fool on all the black people's foreheads. Boo Boo the Fool. No, but we don't wipe it off. We don't wipe it off. Right? It's like they are literally telling. How do they, with a straight face, sit up there with Speaker Madigan, who clearly, they just said he stole $200 million. Not stole $200 million. It's alleged in the federal indictment that he is official. Right? Let me say alleged. They let him go to the front of the line and sit there, and then he has the audacity to say, I'm going to save y'all from the corrupt legacy of President Trump. We live in the most corrupt state. And then they got to act like you crazy, because... Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I didn't even take it.
Yeah. That's it. That's it, man. We crazy.
Well, I'm crazy.
That's it. We crazy. You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you something. I told this young lady this in Carbondale before I left. I said the worst thing that happened to me was waking up and seeing that I can't go back to sleep anymore. You know, and sometimes I wish I wasn't woke. I wish I didn't have these blinders off, so I could just be a sheep and I could just go and do everything that the sheep do, and it don't bother me, and it wouldn't worry me. And I wouldn't lose sleep and lose friends or whatever. But you know what? It is what it is. And I know that the group that makes it to the end will be small and few.
Brother, you just told my life story, man. I really wish, I promise you, if I could go back to the day when I was just happy being a loyal Democrat to the party, where they could send us off, and I did not know what happened. I didn't know that. I just wondered who the white guy that showed up to the campaign with the police and the Starbucks cup he was. I wish I never knew that downstate there are white boys that drive 6 and 7 different luxury cars off of the legislation that black people pass. I wish that I never ever saw any of it. You know why? Because then I wouldn't be mad every time I see a black elected official who don't do, like, I mean, I feel like they straight up leave us out the game. And
but I agree with you.
And it's hard for me because it's like everybody like, what you want me to do? And I'm like, I want you to do something. Something. Like, you are the lawmakers. You, like, lawmakers. White boys, they got an issue. Let me tell you what they do. I'll make a law. I'll make a law for it. The speaker made a law to theft the laws that allow him to theft the whole damn state.
So what did President Jackson say? Power is not conceded without a demand.
But ain't nobody demanding nothing except us.
Right. If you don't ask for nothing, you get nothing.
The black folks ain't like right now. I'm telling you, they are proud as hell to be up there sitting next to dude like I'm a deal. Like, I just can't imagine, Todd, honestly, sitting there like you about to be on a Zoom and the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching, and you sitting there. Who's the person that, like, if I was Amy Klobuchar, I'd be like, I don't want my picture next to Mike Madigan.
Man, her name's Mary.
She ran for president.
Oh, yeah.
From Minnesota.
Right.
Right? I just think, y'all, the same, here's what I'm just, the same people.
I understand what you're saying. We went to an event in New Trier, and there was a guy there running for Senate. He said, want to take a picture with the county board president? He said, no.
Right. And I'm saying, Todd, these white boys, they like laughing in our face. And it's like, I tell you, every one of these people, all these black people posting pictures of, I'm so happy to be a DNC representative. I gotta ask you the question. So when y'all go on y'all Zoom calls today and y'all participate in the DNC, ask them people why they sharing, because they taking selfies and living it up as part of the party. I feel like literally, Todd, we are in 1800s France, where the black elected officials are like, let them eat cake. Right? And it's like, how are you partying and posting and being all extra lovey-dovey at the DNC while we are getting screwed here in this state of Illinois? Hey y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back. This is the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
When you got extra trouble, you need to make extra noise.
Right! Like, he should be like, and I got this for you. And I came back. Look, if I was a speaker, the speaker would be sitting right here. I'd be like, you gotta go on the Maze Jackson Show. I'd make his ass do the apology tour. I would make him do everything. Like, these fools are like, it's like there is a dead body. Like, you could dead him. Dead him. The first black person that goes, though, the white boys got their votes lined up. And what's crazy is the white boys are teaming up with the Republicans.
You know, as I always say, our biggest problem is we don't always like to work together. Win or lose, the Black Hawks say, you know what? We're all going to be behind George or Georgetta. And then you see what happens in the first round. And then you go out, well, first you go out and try to make some allies. And then you see what happens.
Good as this.
Maze, I'm going to put the expansion
better
tank.
Represent, huh?
I'm going to put the expansion tank on my boiler.
Good, you could do it. It's not that hard.
I didn't think it would be.
Most of that stuff, like, I put in water heaters and everything, bro. It's not that hard. It's like, long as you know to turn the valves off.
Right. The
you know how to do the valves and
make sure the water's not coming out. You're pretty good. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I installed a water heater without a valve. I feel bad for whoever had to put that in. But take that one out if it ever go down. It's so hard to find. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, and the show has gone by. We either got to get Cousin Juan back up in here. That was pretty cool.
Cousin Juan was nice.
You know what, Cousin Juan, we need you to come back because Ruthie's not coming back till next week. So, Cousin Juan, we're going to have to reach out to you. You're going to have to wake up.
Cousin Juan, wake up.
Wake up, Cousin Juan. Cousin, you sleep? Hey, y'all, also want to remind you all, don't forget today, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I said what I said with Herb and 2. They'll be on from 1 to 3 today. Y'all keep on supporting them. Those brothers are doing well. Their show is taking off. Also, don't forget, we got a big announcement coming up. Our afternoon show. Todd, we're going to have a full lineup roster, right?
I was telling somebody that yesterday.
It's going to be, you didn't tell them who though, did you? Yes, you did. You dry snitcher. You snitcher.
Well, he probably knows 10 people, but he don't know a million.
So I'm going to tell you, it's going to be good though. It's going to be, I'm telling you, we're going to be powerful. This will be the place to be. Todd, I was just thinking, I don't know if I am prepared for the new reality that nonviolence may be the way forward. We have seen, in my estimation, I've heard people compare what's going on in Chicago in the United States to the Arab Spring, right? Where young people started using social media and started standing up and fighting back against governments. And you see it in the South, in the northern Africa, Arabian countries.
Man, this is a small city. These guys are, eventually, the police are going to be able to triangulate and say, okay, they're showing up here, we're going to show up first.
You know what, the police said they knew that the last time, and they got their butts whooped. The city went up.
You know what I think? I think their hands were tied by some...
the mayor? You don't want to say that, I know.
No, I don't mind saying that.
Some constraints.
I wasn't going to say the mayor herself, but when I think about it, everything that happens in that police department goes to the mayor.
Right, because the mayor is now the chief of police too, from what I'm hearing. So, I guess, when do we get this thing back in control? Do you think the city's back in control now? Do you think they got a handle on it now?
Not yet. It's everyone's still wondering what's going to happen next.
I noticed the police.
Next shoe going to fall?
I noticed that the police were fighting back this weekend.
As well they should. In my opinion, this whole purge that they did at the top is not going to bode well. Well, we already seen it hasn't boded well.
I just think the mayor has alienated almost all of Chicago. I fundamentally...
Who saw this coming, huh?
Me, actually. I think we did. We said she... Okay, we didn't question...
I never thought that she'd kind of start to lose the lakefront.
Oh, no, she's lost the lakefront. Let me tell you. Them white folks, they told me, them white folks was vociferous. I was like, I'm vociferous. They was like, no, let me break down vociferous for you.
Right.
They was like, I own a home here and here. And no, she's got to go. They were asking for resignations. Mm-hmm. Now, they were like, not only did she lose the white North people, they said the gays don't even like her anymore. Whoa. So I'm doubling down. I think she's doubling down in the black community, right? Like, I think she's trying to circle back. I don't even know.
You can always hoodwink those guys.
Hoodwink the Nickras. Oh, and I've decided that I have a new name for white people. Oh. We're going to call them the white peoples. So when you hear me say the white peoples, that means we talk about white people.
Right, I get that.
So like when I say Dwight,
okay.
Even though, have you ever met a white person named Dwight? On The Office.
Oh yeah. And there used to be a high jumper who was named Dwight.
Right. He must have hang out with the brothers though. Like if your name is Dwight, do they like automatically?
There used to be a white guy named Lamont who played basketball with
Lamont? Where ain't no white Lamont?
And the brothers were all over him. Like, come on, man.
Ain't no white Lamonts. Look, we gotta do that one day. Names white people would never. Names white people would never. You've never heard.
Leroy.
I think it's a white Leroy in France.
I said Leroy.
Lil Ron. Do white boys get nicknames? Like, do they be like Lil Man? Do they like?
Good question.
What are like white people nicknames? Right, like
Biff.
Bucky,
Skippy,
Skip. Hey y'all, I love doing the morning show. So I want to remind you all, Herb and 2, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 3. Also, Mike Brown Triggered tomorrow. Oh wait a minute, is it tomorrow? Mike Brown 11 to 1 on Tuesday. I'm looking for a midday 11 to 1 host too. Ricky Hendon sold us out, man. No, he didn't sell us out, man. He got to go help Willie Wilson. Oh. And I just want to make sure Willie Wilson wins every black ward in the city. Do you understand what that would do to Dick Durbin's ego? And I want him to win all the black wards in the Southland. Do you understand? I mean, the townships. Do you understand that there's really a chance that Willie Wilson, with that downstate white guy, if the white folks could get Dick Durbin, just think about that. Because he's not running out.
Downstate white guy.
It's a Republican downstate that's running. But I'm suggesting you could get, if Dick Durbin leaves Cook County with no plurality, right? Willie Wilson could literally get that plurality. Now, black self-hate gonna be like, ugh. But that's a whole nother thing. Hey, y'all, shout out to Willie Wilson. We gotta get Reverend Dr. Willie Wilson on the morning show so we can talk about it. Hey, y'all, but we gotta get up out of here. So, for my co-host, Todd Stroger, for Miss Sonia Escobar, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.